Hello and welcome to this Price a Job tutorial. In this video, we'll take a look at the Resources Rounding tool. In previous modules, we've seen how Price a Job calculates all the materials and labor required for any module. And often the quantities for materials, labor, or plant and tool may result in fractional quantities. The benefit of this is that if you have several modules added up in your project, all of the quantities will be tallied and combined to avoid wastage. But in those cases where fractional quantities are not appropriate, say for example ordering 0.88 yard skips, then we have the option of clicking the plus icon here to round up our quantity to the nearest whole number. But having to do this for every single stage may be time consuming, so therefore Price a Job has introduced a new feature called Resource Rounding. And we can access this by going to the project details by clicking the three dots here in the top navigation bar. Or we can also access this by clicking the cogs icon here down in the bottom left corner. The rounding settings are stored here under the VAT and Profit tab. If we scroll down, we'll see a rounding section. Here we have the options to round our materials, labor, plant and tool, and other costs for the current project. And you'll notice that as we checkmark each of these resources, Price a Job is automatically adjusting the grand total of our costs. So if we choose not to round the materials, we can see that we save significantly on our costs. When we round the materials up to the nearest whole number, this adds to our costs and associated wastage. By checkmarking these boxes, we will round all the resources for the current project only. If we're running a small trade, and we know that we'll be rounding all of our resources for all projects, then we can use the global settings to round the resources for material, labor, plant and tool, and other costs for all projects here on out. Now when we consult our estimate, we can see that all these resources that used to have fractional quantities have now been rounded to the next whole number. And that's how easy it is to automatically round all of your resources. Thank you for using Price a Job.